my swag. I touch y'all on everything. Stop playing with me, bro. I'll be quiet. Let me show y'all something. Look, Valentino, 2 million on my neck, gloves on, in case. Stop playing with me. I don't care how y'all take this either. Dripping too bad. Too bad. I am the blueprint. Literally. Stop playing with me. They've been stealing my swag and I don't say nothing. And I'm still not saying nothing. Let's just make this like it's not reality. I am the swag. Everybody stole my swag. What you talking about? What? I'm the biggest. Where's Uzi? What the?
Where the fuck is Uzi right now? Bro, where is Uzi right now? Where is Uzi right now? Where is he at? What is this event? Where are you at where you gotta be dressed like this? And are those diamonds on your fingers, are they loners because you got gloves on? You gotta bring them back to the art museum? What is going on right now, guys? Where is this nigga at? Huh? It looks like he's at some sort of wedding rehearsal. Listen, these young kids are gonna come up, they're gonna say things that are going to try to aggravate the placeholder artists we have at the moment, but it's just that, it's aggravation. So if you're going to let some little kid aggravate you, you know what I mean? You're gonna let some little kid aggravate you to the point where you're aggravated by this little kid who is coming up trying to take your place, and you're gonna let him kind of shake you up a little bit. That says more about the artist than the artist itself who's coming up, more or less. But I will say this about Uzi, man. The blonde hair is fire, it's swag.
I can't even help this. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I look different. I'm so sorry I got the same aspirations as Michael Jackson. I'm so sorry. I'm soft. And when I pop out, bet my X off. On that bullshit, that motherfucker to my way. I've been cut my age off 5 years ago. I'm just popping it for my fans. That's all. Don't worry about that. And I got that shit on. I don't care how y'all take this. Y'all take everything I say. I don't care how y'all take this. Stop playing with me. I've been showing y'all niggas how to swag. Cardi on my ankle. Y'all gonna do this next year. Y'all gonna do this next year. Everything that y'all do next year, the world gonna understand it next year. They're not gonna understand it this year. Nobody don't give a f***. Y'all be disrespecting Uzi like I ain't finna pop out with them killers. Y'all be goddamn. My nigga need to know how to dress. I'm the only one that know how to dress. My nigga dress with text.
I think the most weird thing about this is not that he's responding. He could be responding. He could be in the studio responding. That'd be fine. Man's got a full-on function, bro. He's got a function right now. Doing this, whatever this is. I don't even know what he's doing right now, dude. Pull up the function. Like, what is he doing right now, dude? And then he's at the table with other people. So it's kind of like, imagine just somebody at a table with you wilding out. Just wilding out. Just talking mad crazy, responding to the fans. Huh? Imagine that. Just right, you're just trying to eat, do whatever the case might be, but it's wilding out.
And it's gonna go down like that. See?
Yo, this is what I need from Uzi, man. This is what I needed to. And this is the thing too. I don't want to hear anything from these little young boys that's coming up right now. These young guys, these young rappers trying to put some disrespect on Uzi. I remember the first time and Lil Uzi is right. He is the blueprint. Now, there's probably 1 or 2 of you guys that remember one of my first videos ever. I mean, we're going back to early 2017 was, I believe it was titled, I don't think it's up anymore. I believe it was titled Lil Uzi Vert is the new Lil Wayne. And people were kind of like hating on it at the time. But when you look at it now, yo, and I was talking about the influence of Lil Uzi Vert. And every time people have hated or tried to criticize Lil Uzi Vert's music, I've said from 2015 to 2020, Lil Uzi Vert has done everything he's needed to do. I don't need any more Lil Uzi Vert music. That's it. You're cemented. It's kind of like even when Prince was alive, right, in the 2000s, people weren't really too interested in. They were like, hey, Prince, whatever you did in the 80s, that's enough for us to last us a lifetime. For Uzi, whatever he's done from 2015 to 2020, that's all I need. He could drop stink bombs for the rest of his life, and I'm good with it. That's still Uzi. That's still a legend in the game. Yes, I'm giving him legend status. Yo, I remember the first time I heard Lil Uzi Vert. It was, and this is, Uzi Vert is doing this for 10 years. Like, people talk about 2016, and that's when Uzi really went mainstream, but 2015 it was either late 2014 or early 2015 was the first time I heard Uzi, and it was the song Super Saiyan. And I remember it was the music video for Super Saiyan, I think it was. Or was it I think it was Super Saiyan. And I don't know if it was posted on the Fader or some Twitter account or something, but he didn't have many followers at the time. I think he might have already been signed, but I was like, okay, like, have you ever made $1 million from your talent? I've never even heard of you. How did you make $1 million? And soon after, the mixtape, not the real Uzi. I actually didn't listen to the real Uzi until Love Is Rage came out. Love Is Rage, the first one came out, and the cover was just marvelous. And then XCephasx, that's what drew me in. I was listening to XCephasx, I was like, yo, this is crazy. And keep in mind, I was a huge early supporter of Young Thug. So 2014 Lifestyle, so I knew about Young Thug before Uzi. So I see Young Thug is on
Lifestyle. Listen, guys, that run, essentially that run that he's talking about, Young Thug and Uzi, that run leading up to 2020 is by far one of the greatest. It's almost as comparable. Actually, nah, fuck that. I'm gonna say this. Take it how you will. the run of like that new era of artists of that you guys would deem as like the mumble rapper SoundCloud artists, that whole run of theirs leading up to 2020 is literally has to be one of the greatest runs in music history ever. It beats the 90s golden era. It beats the blog era of 2010 with Kid Cudi, Drake, Wale, all that. It beats that. And that whole era cemented everything that we have right now. Take it how you will, bro. Take it how you will. Take it or leave it. Whatever the case might be, but I'm telling you right now, that run was historical because it changed everyone's entire perception of what the fuck is rap music. You know what I mean? Niggas is coming out not even saying words, just like, what are you doing, dude? What are you doing and what are you saying? And why is it so good?
On there too, so I'm like, okay, cool. So that whole tape, I ran that tape up and down so many times. So for me with Uzi, like it goes back, and then the run he went on in 2016. Honestly, I was one of the people that liked Pink Tape. I messed with Pink Tape. Now it's EA2. Like I said, I didn't need any more Uzi music. That's what I said. I don't need any more. Now if he drops something, it is what it is. Pluto, baby Pluto. Like there's songs on there, but nothing touches me. Pause. Like 2015 to 2020 Uzi. I don't know if that can be replicated, whatever the case may be. But these young bucks, it's like, yo, you gotta show some respect. And even academics, and this is why I say what this 9 Vicious guy has been doing is quite brilliant, because he even got academics talking about this situation now. So I'm gonna play you guys the commentary that academics gave on this situation, and then we're gonna continue talking about the video clips.
I'm the biggest.
Now, shout out to Uzi, man. Yo, there's another video. I'll see if I can find it where he's talking about the artist he's beefing with, which is in Young Thug Skin. Yo, honestly, bro. And I communicated with Uzi recently. I'll let you know about that later. Remember I said it. I need arrogant Uzi back. And, well, not back. Like, I need Uzi to remember who he is. That's all I'm gonna say. Uzi is one of the greatest of a generation, and I watch him kind of, embrace everybody else, because one thing with Uzi don't come across as a hater, but I don't think he realizes, well, I hope he realizes now how much the swag and the sauce started with him, and how much he developed a sound and he developed a style that so many people, and I'm not saying it wasn't inspired by whoever, but I'm talking about that new gen. You got to remember, Uzi been in the game for damn near 10 years now. Yo, everybody keeps saying 2016, that's 10 years ago. Okay? Like, life is going on. Uzi's a living GOAT, and when I see him popping and I'm encouraged because I want him to remember who he is, And I seen somebody say this, Uzi dress. They said Uzi dressed like Prince when he beat Charlie Murphy in that basketball game.
I will say this is, number one, Uzi is a little bit out there. Like when people are talking about like Uzi's, number one, anybody talks about Uzi being soft, that's not the case. We saw him run down on Rich the Kid. Rich the Kid hopped across the platform, he hopped across the table at Starbucks, went into the employee section and was getting ready to play barista with the apron and everything. He even painted his hair purple. He already had colored hair at that time, SoundCloud rappers. And he was making somebody's caramel macchiato when he saw Uzi running down on him saying, yo, is it sweet? You think it's funny? Because Rich the Kid was...
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy, bro. You're gonna let this little rat-a-tat ass nigga run up on you like that, bro? This nigga's like 5'4". You're gonna let this nigga run up on you? Mind you, I'm 6'3". So, mind you, like someone like this running up on you is like, it's crazy. You look at this nigga, you're like, damn, how is this nigga gonna like? Lil Uzi comes up to my knees. Pause. You know what I mean? So like, how can you be scared of a nigga like this? I get it. He's Uzi. He's off the charts. He's a little bit wild. He's crazy. He's sadistic. But come on, man. You're gonna let Uzi push you around like that? Regardless, it just goes to show that Uzi isn't taking no fluff from nobody. So any of these artists coming up, you're right. You have to take into consideration the mass has been up on a rise since 2016. Even a little bit before that, 2015, with songs such as Money Longer and things like that. But it just goes to show you the amount of time that the man has put in for someone to come up and use these kind of tried tactics. It just, yeah, of course history repeats itself, but somebody as a legend like this shouldn't allow this to phase him. That's why I say it to a lot of y'all that like, a lot of these rappers are soft, bro. Because someone like Drake should have never let the Kendrick situation get to where it was. You know what I mean? Because that whole situation was a test, bro. Was a test. The man should have never got so aggravated, and he would have never been knocked down a couple of notches from the pedestal that we placed him on. Just think about that. If Drake never responded, the whole Kendrick and Drake beef would have been swept under the rug, bro. He should have never responded, bro. But that's what I'm saying. A lot of these legends, the whole thing is just don't respond to these kids, bro. They're kids. Without a proper release or proper management behind them, in 6 months, they're gone.
laughing at him saying that he should have signed with Rich Forever, which would have been the biggest nightmare of Lil Uzi Vert's career. We probably wouldn't even be hearing about him right now. So in Lil Uzi Vert, he's got these, the guy's wearing gloves that you would think a grandmother from the 1800s in England would be wearing to pour tea, and he says, in case somebody got to start popping the guns. And it's like, dog, keep in mind, Lil Uzi Vert has put on and taken off braces on top of his veneers, which are already straight like 4 to 5 times. That's not somebody you want problems with. Like, let's be real here. And this got so much attention, so much so that Young Thug had to speak on it. So Young Thug, he goes on social media and he tweets out the following: Uzi and 9, call me ASAP. And like I said, Uzi's relationship with Young Thug goes way back. Now, Thug and 9, they're very close, and it's beyond just, I don't know if it's been revealed yet, but it's beyond just like, oh, I signed him because I think he's a talented artist. Now, if I were to say something that's potentially missing from Uzi that he doesn't have that other people do, and academics also talked about when he went and vlogged with Uzi, Uzi was just really humble and talking about how, like, yo, you gotta understand these young bucks, they're next up, talking about Destroy Lonely and Ken Carson, who would really take off soon after. But I think it's the selflessness from Uzi that maybe doesn't allow him to be remembered in the way that a Young Thug or a Cardi does, because Uzi didn't really sign any artists. And it's not that he couldn't sign any artists, or perhaps maybe he didn't want to. Well, he did sign that one artist that was a girl that, unfortunately, she passed away. She was shot and killed. But he didn't have this new gen underneath him. I think that's one thing that gives King Spider or Young Thug a lot more, like, it gives a lot more credence to his legacy, because he signed Gunna, and Gunna's making better music than him right now. And he's not in talking terms with Gunna. They don't mess with each other. But Gunna and Lil Baby come from underneath Young Thug. So there was this branch of the tree that is sprouting from Young.
Yeah, but it's not everybody who can bring up an artist, bro. Most of the time when artists are under sort of these artist ran record labels, most of the time what happens is that the artist is too busy being an artist. Look at Kanye West when he signed Big Sean and Kid Cudi, bro. They all left. So yeah, you can usher in a new generation, but most of the time, I think what it is business-wise is just like, y'all gotta hire people to run your labels for you. You can't be the artist and also running the label as well. You gotta look at it as like, I'm ushering new talent and I'm using this as like a platform, whilst I'm still gonna keep touring and doing all the press things and going heavy with what I'm doing without having to bat an eye as if the label is going to be flourishing. You know what I mean?
Thug, same thing with Cardi, but it's almost as if like it ends with Lil Uzi Vert. Similarly to Nicki Minaj. Like, Nicki Minaj has a lot of girls influenced by her, but did Nicki Minaj bring anyone underneath her and raise her up as, and this isn't something that we see female rappers do generally, like she does throw huge layups, like she did for an Ice Spice, for instance, or even a Coi Leray, but I don't think, I can't really judge Nicki Minaj on that too much because we haven't seen other female rappers do that either. Perhaps there's just a lack of the number of female rappers to be able to do that. But with Young Thug, like, I think that's the only thing that's missing with Uzi, if I had to be critical somehow. Otherwise, really, what inspiration is there? What competition is there? Because you gotta look at Lil Uzi Vert's class. I think Uzi looks at it like, yo, am I going to compete with these young guys? Like, I'm kind of an OG in the game right now, so I'm not going to compete with these young guys and compete as in look at them as my adversaries. I think he's more welcoming towards them, and he doesn't feel threatened in his position by them like other artists in his class. But if you think about the other people, let's just say from 2016 class, right? Who's Uzi competing with? Uzi's above, and this is the thing, like Uzi is catalog-wise above Yachty, catalog-wise above 21 Savage. Who else? Who else was on that list? Kodak? I don't know about that. That's very, very different music. Kodak's catalog is, yo, I absolutely love Kodak Black music, but this is not going to turn into a Kodak appreciation, or someone will say a Kodak Glaze session. I just personally think Lil Uzi Vert is just doing another favor for this guy, Nine Vicious, and aiding him by speaking on it whatsoever, or addressing it whatsoever. I don't think Lil Uzi Vert is insecure, and perhaps it's that lack of insecurity that keeps him from not trying to like break new barriers. Uzi's in this unique position where his fans don't know what they want, and I think Uzi's a bit scared to give them what he wants to deliver. And I think Pink Tape was an attempt to give them what he wanted to deliver, and they didn't receive it that well, and that scared him. And if you guys recall, if you've been watching me for quite a while, even in the lead up to EA, which I know I've got a way newer audience now, but in the lead up to EA, I was talking about how Uzi was really scared trying to catch another hit before he released EA. Like, he was doing the Futsal Shuffle song, he was trying to catch another XO Tour Life. He even had, like, I think I Want It That Way, where he sampled the Backstreet Boys one trying to catch a hit, and none of those stuck. Now, sure, Futsal Shuffle, it came out at number 5, I think, it peaked, and they tried to do a dance challenge for it and all that, and it just slowly fell off of the charts. But at that time, I was saying, like, yo, Uzi, you're in such a blessed position that you earned for yourself, you and Cardi, that you don't need a hit song. People will just listen to an entire project by you. And that ended up coming true because Eternal Take was one of the best-selling albums first week of this decade. And then he followed it up with a great deluxe. And I think overall, looking back, that project is great. I enjoy that project thoroughly. So I just hope this...
Yeah, Eternal Take is good, but come on, man. In terms of staying power, is gone. No one's talking about Eternal Take 2. No one's talking about that project like that, bro. Let's be serious. That project, mind you, that project wasn't very cohesive, and there was a lot of different... It was a little bit all over the place, bro. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Huh? Let's be honest.